Hello, I'm Larissa Slayton, founder and host of Coffee Time with Real Women. Now, we've all been told at some point in our lives to just stand up straight, but have you ever really wondered why it is so important? Did you know that it can actually play a role in your own personal success? Now, posture can certainly affect the way we physically look through body language, yes, which is very important, but it also greatly affects your health, your mood, and even your self-confidence. So in today's episode, we're going to find out how to empower your way to success through posture. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. Well, hello, Mindy.
Hi, Larissa.
We've all been told at some point in our lives to stand up straight. You know, I know as a child, my dad was always grabbing my shoulders and pushing my shoulders back, but the only reason behind it was he would just tell me, you don't want to be a hunchback when you get older. But as you're 10 years old, you don't really care about what you're going to be like when you get older. You're not really thinking about that. So to be honest with you, I never really saw the importance. I just always kind of thought it was more frustrating than helpful to find out why we need posture. But as I've grown older, we all understand the aging process, of course, but to be able to stand up straight, it not only has so many health benefits, but as we're going to get into later, it has so much more. It helps with confidence and communication, and even within, I come from a corporate background. I'm an accountant, so, it could even help in productivity in an office. I've also been able to benefit before this video here is to be able to listen to some of her testimonials, and the testimonial that we're going to get into later really and truly hit the nail on the head about how empowering it is as a woman, especially in today's society, as we're told. I don't want to give too much away because that was such a great conversation, but to just really, sometimes we hide and you don't really realize that we're hiding. And to be able to say, this is who I am, and we're going to get so much more information on that later, but being able to just be empowered as a woman is just an amazing thing, even just through the simple thing as posture. But Mindy Krasner here, we're going to go ahead and introduce. She is an amazing gal. She has been a ballet teacher. She's been in New York City doing ballet with, I'm going to let you explain a little bit on some of the things that you've done.
Okay. I was a professional ballet dancer, and I danced in major ballet companies in the United States and Europe, and I toured all over the world in big classical ballet productions. And now I still dance and perform, not ballet in toe shoes anymore, but more expressive, artistic, flowing. It still looks like ballet, but I'm not in toe shoes anymore. But mostly I'm teaching. I teach ballet, creative dance for all ages, from children to seniors. And I work privately with people of all ages as well on posture. I give yoga, stretching, and did I mention? I think that's everything I do.
That's definitely
enough.
That's enough.
That's enough.
No, but you have mentioned too that you came through all this, which I found very interesting, through ballet.
Yes.
And you discovered all of the posture and the aspects through teaching and various measures, which I find very, very interesting. And we're going to get a little bit more into that later as well.
Okay.
So I'm so excited to get into this topic. I just happened to come across you in another meeting and was so excited to meet her, because she not only was a fascinating woman with her speaking that night, but posture has always been a challenge of mine. And I found, especially trying to portray myself in the men's world and trying to be in the world of finance and sales and all that fun stuff, that, body language was a big thing. I saw a TED Talk many, many years ago, and it really kind of changed my life, and trying to understand how body language is so important in discovering and how other people take you. And being even taken seriously is so important. So this is just such a personal topic to me, and I was so happy to come across Mindy and be able to share all this wonderful stuff with you. We're gonna have her speak about her and how she defines success. So moving into that topic, Mindy, can you just briefly describe to me what personal success to you, obviously success, and as we've seen throughout the series, success means so many different things to so many different people. But in speaking of success, how do you find personal success?
Well, I define personal success about how happy I am with myself. So when I can feel that I'm enough, that I am more than enough, and really truly deeply loving myself and feeling that compassion and being completely at ease with myself, to me that is the most success I could ever have, because there's nothing else that will bring you true happiness except that. And when you feel and experience that on a deep cellular level, knowing that that's who you are, to me, I can't think of anything better than that.
Absolutely.
And everything else in your life comes from that place. All the success in the outside of your business, your work, your relationships, abundance is all flowing from that opening of self-love and deep, acceptance and
which would bring all this back home to posture and confidence and health and communication and success. Really, success comes from within, and being able to be confident in that is so very important.
Yeah, because to express yourself who you truly are in the world, you have to be present in your body. And that's one thing that a lot of people are not connected to their bodies. But when you're present, you're in your body, very grounded, that allows you to express yourself to your fullest potential.
Absolutely.
So it's very important.
Absolutely. So right now we're going to take just a quick break, and we are going to let you do a little quick video of
The demonstration.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to give a little bit of a demonstration of what Mindy does and have her get into a little bit further of what she does, her workshops, and further techniques for success a little bit later.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Hi, my name's Mindy Krasner, and I'm a professional dancer, dance instructor, and yoga instructor, and one of my specialties is helping people with posture. So this is Melissa. She's one of my clients or students, and she's going to demonstrate today. So when Melissa came to me, this was her posture. So if you could stand sideways the way when you came. Okay, as you can see, well, everyone has a different type of posture when they come to me, and hers in particular, she locks her knees, the weight shifts into her heel, she has an arched back where the pelvis is tipping upward, and then her upper body is behind her pelvis and her neck is protruding a little bit forward. Okay, so this was her natural stance when she came to me. So you can turn around. So one of the first step to helping someone with their posture is that I use a tennis ball. And the first thing she's going to do is roll the tennis ball on her foot for about 3 minutes. And the reason why we roll the tennis ball is because when you roll it on the bottom of your foot, you relax the muscles in your feet. When you relax the muscles in your feet, your foot has more contact and grounding with the floor. And once your foot has more grounding and connection to the floor, the musculature all the way up to the neck can relax. And then that's where we start the foundation. Then once we've got that foundation, then we can start to work on the pelvis, which is really the keystone for her alignment. We won't be able to show you all those steps in this video, but for now, this would be the first step to improving your posture. So everyone has a different body. Melissa has recently come to me, and I'm having her do what's called the functional stance. This posture is very powerful, and I feel that it's very important for Melissa to do this. If you'd like to work with me privately, I will create a very unique and personalized program for you, specifically for your posture needs, since everyone's body is so different. So now we're going to stand up.
So welcome back. I am grateful, to have you here yet again and to have that wonderful demonstration. Of course, we don't want to give away too much in her demonstration because she's got so much information to share. And one of the things that I definitely want to make sure we touch on, especially with the demonstration we just saw, is that it doesn't take just 5 minutes to do a quick posture. As we were discussing, it can take weeks. It can take hour. How many sessions do you usually do?
It really depends on the person. Everyone is so unique and different. Some people come to me for a couple of sessions and they make extreme, profound improvement right away, and others continue to see me on a regular basis. Or they'll see me for a series of sessions. I have private session packages, and then they might then come to me then for tune-ups. So on an ongoing basis here and there. So it's just so individual. I can't say it's a one formula.
Right. And it's so easy to just think, even when you think that, you think, okay, well, you can just tell me what to do right here. No, but it can actually take strengthening and working different muscles and practice. And for you to actually utilize that, you can put someone in a pose, but in order for them to maintain that pose, it takes a little bit of effort, and it takes strengthening of your core. And
as I was saying, everyone is so different. Some people need more strengthening exercises, some need more relaxation, some need more stretching. Some people need everyone is so different. And I have a huge toolbox because of my background with ballet, yoga. I have the somatics, I have creative dance. I've done so many things that when I work with someone, I'm pulling from so many different things of my background, which sometimes people say they don't know what to call my session because it's not a specific thing. You can't say it's yoga, you can't say it's this or that, because I incorporate whatever it is that person needs. And over the years, I've acquired this skill and intuitiveness to be able to look at someone and watch them move and really be able to see what they need.
Yeah. Very, very cool. Very, very, very great. Now, speaking of your background and all of the things that you've done a vast array of you've traveled around not just New York and the United States, but also internationally with ballet. And as we said, ballet has been a passion of hers, which has led her to this place she is today. Can you describe a little bit how that transpired and has given you direction in order to help us with our posture today?
Yes. So yes, I traveled all over the world in ballet companies, and then I went to India, and I lived in India for 1.5 years, where I trained to be a yoga instructor, along with other things.
In India?
Yes.
I bet you had some great training there.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And then I studied extensively creative dance with Anne Green Gilbert in Seattle, and became a creative dance teacher, which I love to do with all age groups. I studied the Laban Mortenia fundamentals, Laban movement studies, and those are in the somatics.
Okay.
I've dabbled in Feldenkrais and other types of somatic movement. I studied specifically with a woman named Evelyn Lerner, who I am so grateful to. She taught me all the stuff I know on posture, and she taught me anatomy, and all these things. I kept being led. My interest was expanding outside of ballet. Ballet was very restrictive. You have these very fixed classical positions, and if your body isn't very specifically made out to do ballet, it can be a struggle, and there can be a lot of injuries. And I did have a lot of injuries, and it was my injuries that led me to seek out other ways of moving that were more holistic or healthy for the body, and also I was seeking spiritually. So the combination of on my spiritual path, becoming more whole and wholesome in my entire being, then I took that into my movement and dance to make that also healthy and whole. So that led me to yoga, and it led me to finding all these different ways of moving that were very healthy for the body. And in doing so, it actually expanded my way of dancing myself. It actually made me a better dancer. And then in turn, because I had so many injuries and because I learned all these things, I could help so many other people, especially when they have injuries, because, I didn't mention, I also have been through a lot of physical therapy. So all of these modalities and things, when I work with people, I because I've had that experience, I can help them and give more and give service to people. When you've experienced a lot of trauma and injuries and things in yourself are usually the best teachers, because they really understand, not only with compassion, but also they've worked on their own body, which I have done. So I know what it takes when I have like a lower back pain. I know I've been through so many things to know what to do for that when a client has lower back pain, I know what to give them to do. And because I've also been a very sensitive person, I know how to work slow. Something I've had to learn over years and years of patience. I'm able to give that information to my clients to help them understand, you're doing too much, slow down, only do this much for this week, we'll wait and do the other thing once you've done that. So I understand, because when I've moved too quickly, I've re-injured myself. So I know how to share that with others. So when it comes to the posture, the posture fascinated me, because as a ballet dancer, I always had to hold myself very fixed positions. It's very rigid in a sense. But what I learned is it actually doesn't have to be. And through my own journey with all the movement that I've just shared with you, I've learned to move more free and be more free, which is what I share with my clients, that posture is not a fixed, solid position. It's actually, you're moving, you're elongating in all directions. You're not just stand up straight, chin up.
I feel like every time you say posture, I feel that. I feel myself going, I need posture right now as you're speaking. I'm glad you said it's more freeing, because I think maybe that's why I have not liked it so much in the past, because I think that's what most people think of it. Is you're this proper person who doesn't move, you're as straight as a board and you're stiff, and it's not. That's not what we're trying to get at.
No, you're actually in movement. Because our bodies are constantly moving. When you don't even know, inside your body, your cells are growing and shrinking, your blood is moving, your breath is moving your body and shape changing you.
Well, good. So I can relax a little bit more now.
You can't hold anything. And so in that constant movement, even when you're in learning posture, you're learning it as a movement. You're lengthening and expanding, and it's free. It should be free. It's moving with you.
Wow, I'm so glad you said that, because I feel myself just sitting here straight as a board thinking about my posture as you're talking.
I have to think about it all the time. I mean, it's a constant thing for me. And I too, when I was a little girl, my dad used to come watch me at the end of ballet class. And when I would finish class, he'd say, "You did the exercise so beautifully, but then afterwards you went like this." And I became very self-conscious when he said that. And my whole life I became aware of trying to keep myself and my posture. But I have to think about it all the time. I'm never free of it. Usually they say you teach what you have to learn. Well, I've been learning that my whole life.
Well, speaking of that, and I know one of your testimonials that we're going to be able to listen to in length a little bit later, but talks about how she was very self-conscious, because as being raised as a child, was told was constantly harped on with posture and how it affects how we're raised. And being an empowered woman, really, we don't really realize how we're hiding behind the slouch shoulders, and how it's really putting that, to be honest, it's almost like putting a wall in front of us. And I never really realized that until I spoke with your other testimony, Melissa, which was also in the demonstration. But we're going to go ahead, and what I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and play some of her testimonial for you, and then we will continue that discussion.
Okay, great.
What I was gonna say is there's something about being a woman today, and just standing up straight and tall, and having your face be straight, and being able to look someone, whether it's a man or another woman or another person, in the eyes, and having them really look at you. There's a lot of power in that.
Yeah.
It's also really scary, and especially today, like as a young woman, letting my presence be known sometimes scares me, to be honest, because I'm putting myself out there, and sometimes I'll get unwanted attention, but I feel like if you own your posture and you can own that power, and you'll be able to do it without having any kind of fear behind standing up tall and just being present and being able to look somebody in the eyes without like being afraid of, you know, being vulnerable. Because that happens a lot, just walking down the street, and I would get unwanted attention, even walking just to my car from work. And so there's something about, I wanted to get my power back
in your body and getting present in your body. So it's so powerful that just working on your physical posture, how profound it is affecting you on the deepest levels of your empowerment as a woman and a person, a human being.
Definitely, because some people, and I hate to say this, but like some people take a woman standing up tall and having her, like, you know, you're having your head up and your chest open and just like lengthening yourself, like making yourself almost like taller and very present. Some people take that as an invitation to admire and, like, you know, say something. They think of it as a more of like, you know, I'm making myself present for you. But I think why I wanted to start working on my posture was to make myself present for myself and make my posture be my power for myself. And learning how to fix my posture and stand up taller and straighten up my back, it's just been really helping me get my power back for myself. You know?
That's amazing. That is, thank you. That is wonderful.
It's true.
Let's start that over about the boys that you work with.
So at work, I work with all men. I'm the only girl, and there's a coworker of mine who's very forward and aggressive, like sexually to me, to the point where I just like want to hunch over and hide the fact that I'm a woman. Because he'll just come over and he'll tell me that he's checking me out just because I'm standing there next to him.
It's actually sexual harassment.
Yes.
Have you reported him?
Oh yeah, I've talked to him, and I talked to a coworker about it. But just basically him being so aggressive and him being like, "Oh, you look really good today," it makes me not feel good at all, and it would make me want to hunch over and look not good for him. And I had another coworker who would just tell me everything I was doing was wrong. And this combination of one person telling me I'm not doing things right and another person telling me that they like the way I look made me just turn into a ball of crumbled up paper. I just like hunch and be really just trying to hide myself. And so it would just get to the point where I'd go home so sore from just slumping and mentally and emotionally. It was a lot. So like today's lesson, I feel like a sequoia tree. Honestly, I feel like after having done our exercises and after having grounded my feet and working on just like opening up my chest with all these exercises, my mental like point of view and the way I feel physically, I feel like I just gotten revitalized. I feel like I've got my power back. I feel like stronger, and so.
And you look stronger.
Okay,
You did look more vulnerable when you came in, and now you look very powerful and confident and strong.
Because to have to deal with that, like going to work and having to deal with these people who make you feel less than or make you feel like the way your body is something to either make fun of or something to aggressively like try to pursue. It makes you feel like you have no power. So just like standing up tall and being able to look at these people in the face, and it's something that I think shows a lot of strength. It's not stepping down, it's stepping up.
Yes, that's beautiful. Thank you.
3,400 followers, around that much. And a lot of these people follow me because of a band I used to be in, but then they kept following me because my friends said, "Oh, you're kind of a personality of sorts. Like a lot of girls look at you, they admire you, and a lot of guys look at you and they admire you in a different way." And so one day I took a video of myself walking around and I saw my hunch and I just thought, "Oh my gosh, why am I doing that?" Like, so I made this video on Instagram and I posted it for everyone to see, saying, you know, I see this a lot in women more so than anyone. We hunch and we hide ourselves. It's like we don't want to put ourselves out there. And, you know, I think it's about time we all start walking around like we're the Queen of England and own who we are. And people responded more to that video than any video I've ever posted. And a lot of them, 95% of them were women. And a few guys, but mostly women. They were like, you know what? I completely agree with you. I always hunch. Like a lot of responses. I want to say at least 20 to 25 people responded to the videos regarding like posture and how they hunch and how they're scared to pop proper posture and show themselves off. And I ended the video with, you have to keep your head up high and look at the world and let the world look at you.
Oh,
So
that's hard for a lot of us women
Yeah.
to do sometimes. Hearing that, it's funny, as I was just sitting at the table and they're going, why is this so difficult? And you hit the nail right on the head.
Yeah.
Us women, especially, I come from abusive backgrounds. So in relationships, and I've always been told by my father, stand up straight. But really the only reasoning behind it was you don't want to be a hunchback when you get older.
Like
Not
spikes.
not wanting to do that because he always did that. Like I was just out of rebellion. I for lack of a better term, I didn't want to do it. But you don't realize how less it puts you in a situation that it really tears down your confidence and really can harm you. And like you said, it's scary to open yourself back up, especially when you've come from a background as some of us women, we're not always taught to be confident, to be, those are not things I was raised with. So I was raised to take a back seat to the man. So no, my confidence level was not walking into a room first. My confidence level was I will be behind whoever's in front of me. So to be saying, hello, this is me, that is kind of scary for a lot of us women.
Yeah, I think a majority
taking
of
your power
women
back.
women are like that go through that. I went through that the same thing, but I don't even know how. It's not like I remember a family member or someone telling me. I know my father was always telling me sit up straight. But I know when I went through puberty, I became self-conscious that I had boobs, and I just started trying to hide it. And I think majority of women do that. We hide it when we're developing because we know that if we stand up really straight and we project ourselves, that we're going to get a lot of attention.
A lot of
they're
different
gonna
attention
see
that we're
everything.
told is not right.
Yeah.
And that brings in the flip side of you're being a flirt, you're
Right.
you're
You're
putting
asking
yourself
for
out,
it.
you're asking
Right.
for it, right? That brings on a whole other set of
Right.
issues. This would be a great lead-in of how do you empower yourself against
to be
all of these stigmas about of women.
being present, like we talked, and you said it in there, is to have to be present and be powerful in your power to project and say, here I am. But with that power, nothing can affect you then. It doesn't matter. The vibration you're sending out is not, hey, I'm a sex object. It's, hey, I'm a powerful woman,
Yes.
human being. And they will respect that and look at you. So putting yourself out there as a strong human being, not as a sexual woman.
And what helps
Yeah.
whenever I meet up with Mindy, we always talk about things. We've always had these conversations. I'm pretty sure we always have a conversation in regards to why I want to fix my posture and what's going on in my life and how it's all connected. And like Mindy says, we have to work on grounding our feet. But I think by having these conversations, we also ground ourselves mentally. Because if it starts with posture, but it's also your mentality too that's attached to it, and how you have to ground yourself and prepare yourself for, you're going to be present and it's going to be scary at first and you're going to be vulnerable, but you have to own it. And you have to, like Mindy told me, I have to stand up for myself if someone is making me feel uncomfortable. It's something that whenever you speak up as a woman, you're made out to seem like, oh, this is so unnecessary. Why are you doing that?
Make a big deal.
Yeah. Part of posture is just the first part. You have to own your mentality behind it too.
Well, the physical body and the mental, emotional, spiritual are all one.
Yeah.
You can't separate it. So naturally, when you start working on your body and you start adjusting your posture, it's going to bring up stuff on all levels of your being. Same thing with dance or any kind of movement where you start using your body. All the things that are stored in that body are going to come up. So it is powerful.
Yet again, just an incredible speech. Melissa is such an incredible gal, and we're going to be seeing more of her through your videos and different things we're going to be following with her. But what an incredible, empowering thought that she had.
Yeah. It's really, it fascinates me when I work with different people. I love helping people. I love what I do. And it's so much more than just the physical things that we do. When I meet someone and I work with them, I take into consideration their whole being, their whole essence of who they are. And things get revealed that are beyond just the physical exercises that we're doing. I'm able to see certain things that I bring to the light that open them up, because whenever you work with your body, whether it's dance, yoga, any kind of physical movement, posture work, your body is housing your whole entire being. So it's never just physical. So many things get revealed emotionally, spiritually. Whatever is going on is revealed through the body language. And so that's very powerful. And so people that I do private sessions, often tell me that they have a lot of transformation in their life it's not just the physical work
Right,
that we're doing.
yeah.
So I love that, and it's not something I try to do, or it's just something that happens that I'm grateful that I can be of assistance, and it makes the work exciting, because one person I could actually do a lot of physical exercises with, and another person actually a lot less, because there's other things that open up that we do in the session. So,
And I can just see your eyes light up as we talk about this. I can see how passionate you are about really making this work for everybody, and that intuitive side coming out for you, and just being able, I'm sure that's just got to be so rewarding for you as you see people grow, and as you see the emotional change even with some of with someone take place.
Yeah, they say it changes not just their physical feeling in their body, but it changes the view of how they work, or their relationships, or just how they deal with every day-to-day life. And
you just don't really, I would have never thought of, even just speaking with you now, I would not have thought of how, even as I spoke before, that body language does speak of your confidence, but I didn't realize how deep and how emotional that can actually get, just fixing.
Yeah, well,
Just even your physical body, how much of an emotional toll, or even your emotional background, a lot of us women have come from backgrounds of abuse, or maybe negative upbringing, or something. We even as women in the workplace, we're kind of always reminded that we can be the lesser than, or we always, even as ourselves, have to remind ourselves we are here, we are present,
Yes.
we are
here.
we are empowered beings, and that can get emotional. That can get emotional for some of us women to have to get through in order to make some of this happen and to find that confidence.
Well, when you're really grounded in your body, and you're standing up and you're really presenting yourself, you're really saying, "Here I am. Here I am," and that's a very powerful thing to feel that, and it's scary, and a lot of times you don't want to do that.
Yes.
You walk into a room and you want to and most people they want to shrink. They don't want to be seen. Having good posture is being seen. It's allowing yourself to be seen. And I know we discussed this earlier, that this is a problem for a lot of young women going through puberty, or girls. And you start to develop breasts, and all of a sudden you don't want to be noticed. So you kind of go like this, because you kind of don't want people to see you or notice them, and that becomes a habit that informs your posture of being hunched in, so you don't want to be seen. And then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you're in your 50s,
and
then you're still doing that,
Yes.
and then all of a sudden someone comes along and says, "Hey,
It's okay.
to be seen," and that's a pretty powerful.
Well, I think that is just a great point, because it's not just about opening yourself up and now you're being thought of in the wrong way. So it's about having posture and holding yourself in the correct fashion to where it says, "Here I am," in the right way.
Yes, and without holding, but actually just flowing and moving freely.
Right.
Being free to be just present and alert, and just being in the moment.
I just think that's so empowering for everybody, but bringing it back to the talk of the series, and bringing it back to success and success in posture. It is just it is an emotional journey. It really is, and finding your posture. Hence why it takes more than one session. It takes more than 5 minutes. It takes more than just learning a technique. It's really working on strengthening your mind as well as your body,
And saying yes. Saying yes to yourself and to your life, and wanting to say yes.
And what a profound, if we could all say yes to ourselves, and yes in the mirror, and yes, I am present. Could you imagine how different our lives, and how much our lives could be, and how that could change everything, can change someone's perspective in such a drastic way.
Yeah.
For the better, of course, for the
Yeah.
better. I could say it's drastic, but it's profound.
I wanted to mention one of the testimonials that you're going to play for one of my clients, Charlene. She told me that her father told her when she was a little girl that she had really bad posture. And so her whole life, she has been going through her thinking she has bad posture. So she's been holding herself very rigid like this. She found me on the internet. She called me up, and we started working together. And then when she went, the way she described herself over the phone, I'm thinking, wow, she must have really bad posture. But she came in, and I was shocked to see that she didn't have bad posture at all. In fact, her posture was the best I've ever seen. And I literally had to help her to unlearn the thoughts and habits that she had created just because she thought she had bad posture. And basically with her, I was really working on getting her to relax and just allow herself to be herself, because being herself was perfect posture. She didn't have to hold anything. So think of all the energy she was using in holding a stiff position, and now all of a sudden she could just relax and be free.
She was.
Yeah, and that changed her whole life. But that's an interesting thing. So posture isn't necessarily mean you're like this. It could mean anything. It's
You're
just
too
it's
stiff.
the way it's a
Or
thought.
hunched or stiff, or
Yeah. It comes from your
I always thought
thoughts.
posture was
Yeah.
too stiff too.
Yeah, it comes from your thoughts, the way you think about yourself, the way you everything.
Nice. And what I really like what you've brought to the table through all this is the fact that with Melissa and Charmaine, which we'll hear the testimony of her a little bit later, but Charmaine is, Melissa, should I say, is in her 20s?
Yes, the ages. But
So, yeah, but we have,
Charmaine's a mature woman.
right. So age and posture is not just for a young kid, or it's not just for somebody who is developing, I know as we get older, we start to get into things like osteoporosis,
Right.
and there's all kinds of other things that develop as we get older. But I know as a child, a lot of that's where I thought having posture really was supposed to take effect. It was supposed to help us not develop into osteoporosis, or not become this little old lady that is hunched over. But those are other elements that are physical and of nature. But posture is for everyone. It's not for a kid to think about someone as they get older, or it's not for someone to just say, well, I'm older now, so what does it make a difference? It makes a difference in everybody's life. You're never too young, you're never too old, you're never too anything to really learn to love yourself.
Right.
And
It's about
be
loving
who you
yourself.
are.
Yes.
And that's where I start getting emotional.
And that was a good
No,
one. That
but-
really pulled it all together. It is. It's
But-
really about expressing who you are.
And a lot, I hear that all the time. I'm told to think about stuff like that, or I'll think about that, or
Or it's
even
too-
as
or
my
people
daughter
say-
will say,
they'll say-
I'll think about it when I get older. And
Or
it's
they
like,
say it's too late for me now.
Right,
It's
right.
too late. It's never too late.
It's never too
As
late.
long
to
as you're
become who you
breathing
are.
and alive, it's never too late for anything.
So that's a powerful point that really sums everything up right there. I think, being an empowered woman today means so much, and we as a society and we as women have become, we've come so far, and now, and especially what I would like to have people get out of the series is that it's really for you. It's for each individual. It's for each individual's personal success, and you can't get any more personal than learning about yourself and learning how to be free within your own body, especially through posture. Thank you so much for being here, Mindy.
You're welcome.
I
I'm
think
so
this
happy. This is really fun.
was such a great journey, and it's just to hear, especially how you've brought it all together, and through all of your learning and all of your training, have the ability to teach everybody else. And I can just see how much your eyes light up. I don't know if anybody can see that, was able to see that within the video, but I'm so happy that we have someone like you, and it's such unique perspective to bring to the gals of today.
Thank you.
And I do want to make sure that people know that we can find your events on not only the Coffee Time website, but go ahead and give us some contact information for you.
So MindyKrasner.com is pretty easy. It's my name, and on there is or info@MindyKrasner.com, and that's you have it on your website, so people can find it there. Yes, and I have a workshop coming up on June 23rd, at Green Heart Yoga and Meditation in San Marino. And it's a beautiful space, and I'm really excited and looking forward to that. So that's Saturday, June 23rd, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's a 2-hour workshop, and you can register for that at the Green Heart Yoga and Meditation Center, and there'll be a link for that as well. And that's a good way to start. And if you'd like to work privately, you can contact me through the website, and also dance classes. I teach private sessions are not only for yoga, for posture and yoga, but I also do private dance. I teach private ballet or private freestyle dancing. I do wedding choreography. People come to me for all different types of movement that they need for production, or I do choreography. I'm a choreographer, so I do a lot. Yeah.
So reach out to Mindy. You can find her on coffeetimewithrealwomen.com. As we said, go to her website, MindyKrasner.com. And again, I'm so grateful that you were able to make it out today. And on our way out, what we're going to do is go ahead and play Charmaine's testimonial.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun. I really appreciate it.
Good deal.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mindy.
Thank you.
My name is Charmaine, and I grew up with a father who was always criticizing me about my posture. And as a result, I started slumping throughout my life, basically from childhood to adulthood. I came across ballroom dancing as something to challenge myself because I'd also, as a young child, avoided dancing. I felt that I was uncoordinated and that I didn't know how to stand properly. So I thought, well, let me sign up for a class and then I can check it off my bucket list. And what happened is the teacher said, I think you've got some talent, that there's something that I think you should pursue. And I kind of blew it off. And after the 4th time he said that, I thought, well, let me try it. Let me sign up for some lessons. And that ballroom dancing became my new passion in life. I've always loved arts and music and culture. But I noticed as I was progressing through the different levels of dancing that I felt like my posture was a problem. Part of it was because in my head I felt like I had horrible posture. And 2, I just felt like it was difficult to maintain while in the process of moving through different routines. And so I went on the web and I thought, maybe I really need to talk to a ballet teacher, because I thought, they all have such beautiful posture and just move with such control, but also with some freedom. And so I went on the internet looking for a ballet teacher, and I came across Mindy. I came across her website. I looked at many websites, but she had this workshop on posture. But then I noticed, I missed the date and I didn't know when she was going to offer another one. So I called her up, and it was very strange. I felt like I just had a connection with her, and I told her what I thought my challenges were, which is I think I need some help with posture. I can't maintain it when I'm moving or dancing. And so I signed up for a package of lessons with her. And I have found it really transforming, not only just in my dancing, but particularly just on my day-to-day life. One of the big mistakes I found, partly through my father, was that I just held myself way too rigid, and that my posture was not as terrible as I thought it was. It was in my head, and it was ingrained, and it definitely did some tweaking here or there. Mindy helped me just to relax and feel what was going on in my body. That was something I've never had in my entire life, a connection to my body. And that was probably a big challenge with dancing. I was approaching it from a very repetitive, rote sense rather than something coming from inside out through my body, through the muscles. And I find myself just on a daily basis thinking about, how are my toes leaving the ground? Or are they leaving the ground? What do I need to do? Just kind of looking at myself, observing my body, even if I'm not dancing, what I'm doing. And that's just an awareness that I would have never had. The fact that I came to her to try to help me with my dancing, but it's now helped me in every aspect of my life. I even find when I may be working on a project and I feel myself tightening up, and I just say, okay, I need to breathe. And all of this is just from Mindy's training in posture work.
Great. I loved how you were saying when you were dancing in your lessons now, your teacher noticed the difference, right?
Yes, both my teachers have just, because I do Latin and standard ballroom, have just made comments about my balance, even my posture, which is much more of a challenge for me in Latin because I'm not always connected with a partner, so I have to maintain it myself. And as a result, both of them have been pushing me to do higher levels of the technique that I've been learning, and that has been amazing to me because the other thing that it's done for my dancing, I've actually noticed leaps and bounds in improvement just in the few weeks that I've been working with you, which before it would take me months just to do one little thing. Not to say that it's been on a straight upward trajectory, but I can really feel and see the difference, and other people are seeing it, not just the teachers.
So you're more relaxed with your dancing, you said, and so you're able to absorb more and take in more combinations without getting frazzled and tense. Yeah.
When I go home after the lesson, I can feel that I have used muscles in a way that I've never done before, and I just find that amazing because for me, the dancing is not only expression, what's inside, but it's art with the body. It's both things, and I feel like that is a potential for me. I feel like actually I'm a dancer now, which I didn't feel like that before.
Yay, that's fantastic. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, the other day I was thinking, yes, I can do this. Whereas before, my first thought would be, oh my God, what are we doing? Why am I doing this? And I know I'm doing it because I love it, but I would just be so intimidated. And now I feel like, I may not get it right the first few times, but I have this confidence, like, yes, I can do this, and I am a dancer.
Yes.
All this time I've just been thinking, I don't know, I'm someone that's taking dance lessons. So it's been a total shift in my thinking, which I think is coming out of my body.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Charmaine, for saying that. I'm thrilled and so delighted.
Well, thank you.